Welcome back to the channel. So we're exploring another Autobiography line fragrance from Paris Corner. This time we're looking at Supreme Gold, a bit heavier, a bit darker than the two previous fresh fragrances that we've reviewed from this line. This was sent to me by the good folks at Aroma Concepts. As per usual, it has nothing to do with what I'm going to say, what I'm going to think, how I'm going to feel, because you know me if you've been following along. When it comes to these fragrances, they're sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. And if they fall in between, I explain why I feel they fall in between. And for this one, there's a certain thing that makes it kind of fall in between, but lean is sometimes maybe good. Let's dive into it. Stay tuned. So I have the notes on screen for you guys. I have the notes right here on the back of the bottle for me, but when you spray this one immediately, cinnamon bomb. Cinnamon pepper, warm, hot spice hits you. There's a leather accord here. So it's labdanum that's listed. I'm sure that's what's giving me the leather accord. It could be other notes mixing with the labdanum to create it, because there's no leather oils. It's all just notes creating the accord. And it's not really super animalistic, but it's a little rough and tumble, especially dealing with all that warm spice. There's a nice sweetness, there's a soft woody tone, there's Isui Super here. And not an overload of it, but a noticeable amount. You do get a nice synthetic soft wood, sensual woody note. The cedar is not too heavy here, so I don't get much sharpness to the woods. Like I said, I get more Isui Super. It's a smoother wood overall. And the vanilla does creep in more and more. I can't pinpoint what this is supposed to be similar to. I don't get Tuscan leather because I don't have all that fruity raspberry notes. It's not Tuscan leather. Ombre leather realm-ish, maybe, but this is way spicier. It doesn't have the florals, so I don't really know what to relate it to, because I know somebody's going to ask, that's why I touch on it. So let's just judge it as an individual, like we should anyway. And the scent profile on this one, of the three I've tried so far, because the fourth one we'll be doing probably next week. This is Oh Boy. That's the last one I haven't tried yet to review. The first two are really good. Really good, fresh, alluring, easy to like, high compliment factor kind of stuff, but they were on the weaker side of performance, whereas this, for what it is, you would think the performance would be better. We'll get into it in a little bit. It's still a much better performer than the other two, but for the scent profile, lackluster. But it smells great. This is the best smelling one of the bunch. Easily, very situational, cooler weather, dressed up. This is not a casual fragrance. This is a stepping out, showing out kind of fragrance. It offers that masculine wow factor, strong presence to this fragrance that, like I said, beautiful if you like spicy, leathery orientals. You'll like this. Now let's talk about that performance. 6 to 8 hours in longevity. Don't sound too bad, right? The other ones I was getting like 4, maybe 5 hours. So far superior, but because it's such a heavy, leathery, spicy fragrance, you would think it would be more like at least 8 to 10. So lackluster, but not bad. Still very good performance, just not the beast I thought it might be. So that's where what makes it kind of, instead of being just, oh my God, mind-blowingly good, because the scent profile is there. The scent profile is definitely there. The performance is lackluster for what you'd expect to go with this profile. It's still a very good performer. Projection on the heavy side for about an hour and a half. And then the sillage, it kind of takes a dive to moderate to mild. This is where that lackluster part comes in again. It doesn't have a hefty sillage. At least to me, it doesn't. It could be nose fatigue, but I get light whiffs of it here and there. Not the dense, strong oomph that I typically would expect from this kind of profile. It still performs right in the sweet spot of what I would like for all fragrances across the board. It's just for what it's in, what I anticipate when smelling this, it falls a little short. It still does the job. It still does the job really well. It just could do the job a little bit better than it is. I don't feel like it's striving for excellence. I feel like it's settling for very good. I feel like it could have been, the performance could have been a little bit better. Again, it could be me. Could be the nose. It could be the nose, could be some olfactory fatigue. I'm sure that's playing a role, especially with all this Isui Super that I smell early on. So take what I'm saying with a grain of salt, because that probably is the culprit here. But even with that, I've been clocking it between 6 and 8 hours in longevity, and it's pretty strong for an hour and a half, and I still smell it throughout the day. Just not as strong as I would like to. Again, probably nose fatigue. And darn ISOE super. But across the board, I would call this one above average. Final thoughts on Autobiography Supreme Gold. I think it's a very good fragrance. Dare I say great fragrance. We're going to give it an 8 out of 10. The scent profile really does the job here. It's really, really well composed. The quality here is pretty good. I'm not going to say it's among their elite from Paris Corner because they have stepped their game up quite a bit. I'm going to say it's on their upper echelon though. This is up there with some of their highest quality smells that's available from the brand. Performance is above average, not quite the beast I would anticipate this type of profile to be, but across the board, it makes for a great fragrance. Well, that's my thoughts on Autobiography Supreme Gold. And until next time, do me a real quick favor. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, because I do appreciate all the feedback, and I love hearing from you guys. How many of you have tried it? What do you think? What's it smell like to you? How's it perform? There's links below with the discount code to Aroma Concepts if you're interested in checking it out. And until next time, I will say if you get your hands on Supreme Gold and the Autobiography line from Paris Corner and you give it a spray now, you might end up thanking me later. Have a good one, guys.